I've never seen it.
I feel like deja vu just because that was that ride at Six Flags that they always kept having to take down because the dummies would come back with no arms.
Oh my God.
What?
The one at Six Flags over Georgia, there was this ride called Deja Vu. It was this upside down ride, and every time I would go, I'd be like, "I'm gonna get to ride Deja Vu now," and it was closed. Every time it was there were always articles about it.
What was the arm ripping device? How did that end? That's
I don't know.
incredible.
What
happened to the dummy?
That's incredible.
I thought you were talking about stupid people for a second.
This is Six Flags for Dummies.
That's incredible.
I'm just laughing at people like dying on
armless
this ride.
well, maybe they live still without their arms.
I don't know. I never got to go on it because it was always closed.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
so
love
don't-
that they're like, you know what, we're running it back this year. And then it comes back with no arms. And the guy's like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's incredible.
There was a very famous water slide built in Kansas called the Schlitterbahn. And it was like the world's biggest water slide, and they hyped it up and they hyped it up. And this one isn't as funny of an ending as the other one. A kid got decapitated.
Whoa.
Like
on a bridge? He flew
fair,
off it and-
they didn't ever try it with
people.
little people.
Oh,
like
classic.
kid weight.
Classic.
So they were like, okay, as long, if adults ride it, it won't fly too far, but they wanted you to get air. The first time it's like kids,
Wow.
it gets too much air.
He just flies right out of it.
Just the whole tube flew up into like the preventative railing or whatever.
God.
And then they were like, we think we're going to close it.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, guys, take the day off tomorrow.
I think so.
It is we are
Yeah.
all about individual freedoms here in this great sunflower state of Kansas, but we think we might not run this one back.
I love the unless you guys think we should.
If you want it, yeah, if there's enough demand, we'll...
I mean, I don't hear him raising his voice about it.
Someone wants to pay the lawsuit. Well, that's crazy.
There's now this. I think it might be the Six Flags is building a roller coaster where you jump the track.
What?
Oh,
Like there's a
not
gap
gonna
in
do
the
that
Speed
one.
track.
style? Like,
Yeah. There's like a
What?
gap in the track. I would say.
It's really just deja vu again. They've just
I
changed
know.
the name.
yeah. That's right.
Everyone's like, I feel like I've been here before, and they're like, you're not allowed to even feel deja vu here.
Oh my god.
Legally.
That's crazy.
This is now Hustlers on Hollywood Boulevard, the ride. Wow. Anyways, so yeah. At Panera.
Yeah. hell
I
yeah.
don't-
Right.
We had, because you're talking about the Cheesecake Factory getting rid of items, we had a strawberry poppy seed chicken salad.
Salad. That was
like
a great
this-
salad. Love that salad.
It was like their
That was
like,
when I get a soup and a half
spring
salad. That-
right?
Okay.
Great
And we
salad.
would have it, and then they quit. They didn't. It's not year round, and so when strawberries are no longer in season, they stop. And a woman told me she was going to hit me. She's like, I don't know. I'm going to hit you if you don't find this salad. And I'm like, I don't know where you want me to find the salad.
That's awesome.
But when I came in the day that they no longer had the strawberry poppy seed chicken salad, all like the long tenured employees came in like they were like back to war. They were like, this is like their Black Friday at Panera,
awesome.
where they're just like, oh my god, today's the first day with no SPCS.
Word.
We are, and everyone came in like, where's the salad? Because now it's like the fall like sweet potato. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
harvest,
switched
the
it up.
harvest salad.
Yeah.
And people are like,
That's not a strawberry.
That's messed up.
I know you have one back there. Like, yeah, we have one. We kept one
We're
in a
hiding it.
safe
We're hiding
in case Rick Panera comes in.
Oh, Mr. Strawberry, we've been waiting for you.
Yeah, here we go.
Even though it's actually technically St. Louis Bread Company.
I was gonna say it's Redco, dude. I'm impressed
But
that you called it Panera.
the city of St. Louis tests so negatively outside of St. Louis, they had to change the name of it.
Yeah. In St. Louis, they just call it Breadco. They don't
just
even
call it
they don't
Breadco.
even like St. Louis themselves.
Well, they're yet to entertain the fact that there's other places. Like generally the city of St. Louis as a
Yes,
whole is like
indeed.
very much like we're the city.
Yes.
We're basically Chicago. We're like probably the same size as Chicago or New York. We haven't checked.
I mean, if you include that arch in there,
Yeah.
it's got to add up, I think.
It's big. It's big.
Anyways, what era of Spencer's Gifts were you working there? What is this, like novelty tea, or is this is not Funko Pops or not? Right?
No,
Yes, I'm
Funko
so
Pops are not there
interested.
yet. I'm in the lava lamp zone.
Fart
Oh,
machines.
yeah, dude.
Fart machines, big time.
Yes.
Posters.
Yeah,
A little bit of sex toys.
but not
Still
quite.
the sex toys, nice. That was always a fun
that was,
thing.
That was, yeah. That was my intro to that world.
Fake boner pills.
Yep, a lot of like gag gifts.
Or I feel like the gag gifts were not. This is so funny in hindsight now because like boner pills are a real thing, but I feel like the fake boner pills were like to prevent boners. They were like horny pills to like make you not get boners.
It
And
was
now,
just
like,
a
we have
more
the opposite
elastic
as a real
waistband
thing.
for your pants to like tuck it into.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like fake puke.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Vomit, poop, all that stuff.
The big three.
the good
Yep.
stuff, man. The good stuff.
I was only allowed to go in there to get. I did buy a disco ball from there once. I really wanted one.
Wait,
like
when you
third grade.
say allowed, was your mom at the mall with you, or were you just
Yeah.
like a good girl and wouldn't disobey her when she wasn't there?
Both.
Wow, really? I'm impressed.
For too long. I'm not even supposed to be here right now. I'm a little scared. I'm not going to look at my
Yeah.
phone.
I did see you take your headphones off when someone said boner. We're talking about Growing Pains characters. It's okay.
Yes. R.I.P. Didn't he die?
Yeah, he did.
He like
I
got
think
lost on a
committed
mountain or
suicide.
something. Yeah.
No, I don't think he
boners
got Did he get lost on a mountain?
Or no, you know what? I think you're right. I think it was suicide, but I think he was missing first. And they're like, oh, I think he got lost. And then they're like, no, he killed himself. Oh, shit. Yeah. Boner,
That
R.I.P.,
really,
dude.
what a left turn that conversation took.
It always comes back to
Boners
growing
and-
pains
yeah.
and boners.
So when you go to the mall with your friends, they Hot Topic?
I eventually was able to go in a Hot Topic because it was a particular belt that I wanted.
Studded?
I had to be like, this is what I need to get in there. Okay, Mom?
Blinders on.
All the kids have it. And they only sell it at Hot Topic.
Right.
Wait, like what stores were sanctioned? Where were you allowed to go?
Nowhere.
Dillard's?
Starbucks. Yeah, Starbucks.
The lower level of Dillard's.
Aeropostale was very safe.
Oh, yeah.
But like
I've been saying that
Abercrombie,
wrong.
my mom, am I saying
Am I
it
saying
wrong?
it?
No, I
It's
had this conversation.
Aeropostale, right? And then like they got to fancy it up.
Aeropostale.
If you're
Oh, I didn't
saying
know that.
Aeropostale,
I thought they tried
That's
to
the
make.
guy from The Last of Us.
I thought they were trying to make it like a nice place. That's their whole thing.
You're
It's like,
thinking, of, that
we're a
you're
level
thinking of
up.
that actor. Do you see the new the new Mr. Fantastic's going to be played by Aeropostale?
That is actually a really good name. That is a great fake name. I'm adding that to my fake name list.
so funny. Oh my god.
Oh, he looked great at the Oscars.
He always does. He always does. That's crazy that you couldn't go into like mall stores.
I mean, Spencer's. I mean, I kind of get it now. It's like, I mean, they got dildos laying
Oh, yeah.
around
Your parents would
underneath like a little red light, and it's like doonch doonch. Like my mom was like, "We're not doing that."
Yeah, this is
today."
the stuff I'm preventing you from seeing.
right.
I feel like you're gonna get exposed to that stuff. It's like
I know. I mean, I feel like once it was like I was going to the mall by myself, I was like, I did,
yeah.
I wanted to, I
got
wanted to see a
forbidden fruit,
T-shirt with
forbidden
titties
fruit.
on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
I remember somebody I worked with sold a T-shirt to a child that just had like a middle finger, like one hand holding up middle finger and the other
Nice.
like pointing it.
Nice.
And within like I would
That's
say
awesome.
an hour, the child came back
Returning
and was
it?
like had so sad that he had to return this. But he was probably like 10.
That's
It's like who sold him
outstanding.
this in the first place? This
That's
is
so
crazy.
I got
funny.
suspended from school in 6th grade for wearing a "Go Fuck Yourself" shirt. It was the
Really?
upside down "Go Fuck Yourself."
I remember the era of children being suspended for make 7 up yours tees at my school.
Oh
Yeah.
hell yeah!
People were like,
dude.
no,
Hell
they were.
Forgot
I
about
remember
those.
one kid like covered the up on the back. Like
Oh,
with tape,
nice.
so he's just in a "Make 7 Yours" shirt, and like
Hell yeah,
some
dude.
kids were just like covering the
Creative.
"Make" and
That's
the
good.
and the "Yours" to
That's
just make it
good.
a set. And you're like, this was because that was a big
That's so funny.
that was a big campaign.
Absolutely.
That might have been a Super
was.
Bowl commercial.
That probably was actually
That
yeah.
T-shirts that said "Just Bite Me" on it.
Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
we're very
Yeah.
popular.
We weren't Bart Simpson tees would get you in trouble for a while
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
South Park was a big. I remember Hudson Ogburn had a South Park T-shirt
Nice.
in 2nd grade. And
Did he
got
get suspended?
Yeah.
Hudson.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's tight, dude. Hudson Ogburn rules.
It took me a long time to want to get into South Park because my entry to it was a song called "Kyle's Mom Is a Bitch,"
That's a tough draw. That is a tough draw.
and
That's a
our
tough draw.
bus driver played it.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Sarah.
Amazing.
So when your mom is Kyle's mom,
Yeah, that's no good.
I actually this is how like little exposure I had in Missouri because of South Park. I thought I might be Jewish
Just related
because
to the
Kyle
name.
in the show was.
That's outstanding.
And everyone would just yell this thing at me in like 3rd or 4th grade. And I'm like, I don't fucking.
I guess so.
And
yeah.
then the first Jewish person I met was a kid named Ian Vestine in high school. And he was like 6'5", like 285 pounds. And I was like, Jewish people are so good at football. Like they are the best at football. That was like
That's
my entire
awesome.
exposure was this. He's a huge guy who's like better at football than everyone. I'm like, this is what I'll take with myself. Moving on from
awesome.
today is how good Jewish people are at football.
He's probably roommates with Hudson Ogburn right now.
Could be.
Circle of life.
I don't know how we got so far off of anything to talk about. You didn't even get to talk about Usher. The Super Bowl was last night.
That's all we're going to talk about once we start. So
This
we
is
can-
our
we can
Valentine's Day
prevent that.
episode, so it's gonna be dropping the day before Valentine's Day, which
Perfect
is
for
tomorrow.
fucking
Usher.
Usher. Yeah, get that going now.
Let him burn.
Yeah.
I love the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know
was
if
the
everyone
best.
watched the Super Bowl halftime show. Did you see it,
Yes.
Shar?
I enjoyed Ludacris.
Yeah,
Luda's great.
Ludacris, Alicia Keys.
I loved knowing they weren't lip syncing.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the first Super Bowl. Someone at my Super Bowl party, because Alicia Keys like came in a little hot, and it
Yeah.
like was like a weird sound.
Yeah.
And someone was like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "You don't get to say that to Alicia Keys." I'm
No,
sorry.
definitely not. Did not earn that at all. Yeah.
Someone who was probably just like cramped under a stage.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like they should. What they should do is just mute them for 2 notes, so
Yeah.
they can like figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you're not allowed to make that face at Alicia Keys. I am sorry.
No,
like you
especially
are
not with a
now in
fucking red
jail.
piano. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
It was awesome. I got a funny text in my fantasy football. There's a kid in my fantasy football league who's like 20. He's like one of the kids' cousins, so he's like 23, and he goes, "My dad is so mad because he thinks Ludacris is Colin Kaepernick."
Oh my god.
And he's like, "Of course," but he's like, my dad literally goes, "Of course they'll bring him back." I'm like, "Did you think?"
it's
First
so
off,
good.
which we talked about this because I texted you that, and it was like you didn't know how short he was because you'd never seen him up off his knee before.
100%.
Did you think Colin Kaepernick was like 5'5"?
That's so funny.
It's
And
incredible.
raps.
And raps. And raps.
Why does he want to play football so bad when he's doing the Fast and Furious movie? He's got plenty of work. He doesn't need to come
that
back
is
to the NFL.
hilarious.
Absurd. I
There
love the
were so
halftime
many
show.
people coming in and out, and then there was like I still didn't go to the internet to see who the girl was with the guitar.
Her.
Who was named her, which
Okay.
makes it difficult to also figure out who it is.
Oh, that's true.
Because I was like, I'm mesmerized by her, but I couldn't tell you who she was.
She was great. I feel like Jermaine Dupri looked kind of amazing, and he's still wearing like capri shorts, which is like didn't catch on in 1998. And I want to think that he never has stopped trying, and I respect that.
Yeah.
One of the few trends that hasn't come around twice since they were popular, like since these songs were coming out. Every time I have a harder time enjoying the halftime show because I'm like really into the game and the Chiefs were losing, and so I'm very stressed out, and I'm just like, I'm just like, okay, when is this over? When is this over? But then the same thing happened last year, where you're just like, man, people got a lot of songs.
Incredible. I texted you this morning. That dude literally played 13 songs and do like half of his #1 hits.
I know
That's
people are like,
incredible.
oh, he's not gonna do. I'm like, how long you want him out there?
Yeah, like we need an
Yeah.
hour and a half minimum.
Go to Vegas. I think he has a show there.
Yeah, he
It's an
does.
incredible show. Strongly recommend it if he brings it back.
I also saw someone say that everyone at the halftime show was dressed how we thought we would be dressing now when they were popular, which is like in like all of like the fake ab
That's
suit
incredible.
things and like
That's
like
true.
they were entertaining the Starship Troopers.
That's funny.
But I
That's
did love
true.
it.
Yeah, it was great.
Usher is he brings me to like Valentine's sort of feeling like
the
it's a
best.
perfect timing thing.
I don't know how he dances like that still.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I
It's crazy.
and how old is he?
45.
Yeah, that
Unreal.
There
like
was,
is he
yeah.
just like doing cold plunges all day to day? Like how
I
does
feel
he?
like based on how good, how many shows he plays, I feel like it's got to be like a wake up, work out for 12 hours, eat a smoothie, and then go play a 4-hour set in Vegas. Like that's
It's
a long
really
day.
wild. I
Yeah.
think you would
Tough
just
day.
stay in decent shape doing his show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus also having sex all night with all of the women that are in love with him.
Sure.
And maybe some guys, maybe me, I don't know. Like,
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like he's getting his workout.
He's actually upset and tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
They got a lot of songs. I loved Rihanna last year. A lot of songs. I was still just stressed out at halftime.
Understandably so.
Anyways, Valentine's Day is soon, or just happened, depending on when you're listening to this, or
Oh,
happened
yeah.
months ago if you're one of the people who's way behind. I wanted to bring on the 3 preeminent rom-com knowledge bases in my life, which is Jenny Jennings, who knows about them, Todd, who's seen some,
I've seen
and,
most.
and
I
Daniel
love
Shar,
rom-coms.
who has worked for OnlyFans.
It's a good trifecta.
Yeah.
Very good trifecta.
Very qualified.
We didn't get to talk too much about. We've like. It's so funny. hinting, because it's been hinted at on here about you doing that, but not like fully talked about or anything. And I don't want to get too explicitly into it as you like develop create like things about it. But I did that stand-up show for OnlyFans. OnlyFans like tapes like stand-up show stuff, and it this is not no shade at anyone. It pays 8 times more than Conan.
I've made way more money from sex work than comedy as well.
I feel like it probably has more viewers too.
Absolutely.
You explain like people bring you on stage to Conan, and if it's a younger crowd, I'm like, he was a guy who used to be on TV. This is like a bit I'll do. I'm like, he used to be on TV. I'm like, TV was like a sideways phone in your living room.
Yeah, we like to watch it. Yeah.
It would like you had to be at your big sideways phone at a certain time of day to see the Conan.
God,
right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. TV is like a VHS player now. Like,
yeah.
it's like, no, everyone's like, what's that?
Yeah. It's like a big laptop you had to show up at.
Keep it on. Keep plugged in on the whole
Even
time.
when I did Conan right before the pandemic, it was like you had to watch on Hulu at a certain time. There weren't even like instant replay sort of things.
Yeah.
It's changed so much.
Yeah.
Anyways, the OnlyFans thing was all right. I've been like using the platform a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if you need any guidance or help or tips,
I probably will.
Yeah.
It's so funny talking to people. Like there's like people who like work for it and like or people who like very on it all of the time. Like it's like their Facebook.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I browse OnlyFans.
Yeah.
To find new people and stuff like that. Some comedians who've done it previously, one was like, I put a shirtless pic up for $200 as a joke, and one guy paid for it.
Shut up.
And I just made $200 from shirt. So I'm like, I have a $100,000 paywalled post called Answers in the Middle East. So if anyone wants to pay me $100,000, you can see my thoughts on figuring all that out. Because that's how much I would end my career for.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Wait, I think I've been living under a rock. Is OnlyFans so now you can do other?
They're they're like doing
we
a
need
pivot.
To make sure we need to talk to your mom.
Oh my god, that's
Hold on,
so
wait a
right.
minute. Yeah, wait a minute.
We'll do
God.
lowercase o, lowercase f.
Okay,
That way you can just.
Okay, Mom, if you're listening,
You're like not even allowed to
If
talk
you're
about
listening-
Super Bowl fans. Well, that Eric Stone Street, I saw how he was on that one show.
I actually had to go in the other room during this halftime performance.
Right.
Once he took his shirt
It was
off.
hot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hot.
They're like filming. They're making like an OnlyFans TV. So they're one of the few companies pivoting to vertical video.
Okay.
Touche.
Also, like the rest of them.
Technically, I'm not trying to like do an OnlyFans ad here, but they originally did not start out as a porn company. Like they were.
Okay.
This is what some of.
Were they originally
That's
basically
what they were-
Patreon
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the intention
that
is what
allowed
you're doing,
adult?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And then the adult creators became like the entire basis of their
Sure.
platform,
Right.
essentially.
And I've done a lot of these stand-up sets for companies whose names sound AI generated or fake. Or you're like, that can't, because sometimes you hear the name of something, you're like, Burpo's not going to be here in 2 months. Do you know what I mean?
Burpo will
Give me $1,000 and a set that is in HD, and I'll put captions on it and use it for a year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
OnlyFans is one of the few companies I think has money.
Yeah.
Been around
Yeah.
forever. I feel like the use of all of the vowels and spelling it is a really good way to make your company successful. None of those like missing vowel companies have lasted more than a year.
Like if it was if it was
Yeah.
NLYFNS,
you're out. It's not going to happen. Yep.
but it was the most efficient stand-up showcase thing I'd ever been a part of. These people are so excited to work with like. I was talking to someone. They're like, it's a combination of like the lowest, like what do you call it? Like when you need a lot of attention or whatever, the lowest drama clients. Nice. But then they're like, and then there's like on every showcase, there's like 2 comedians who are worse than any creator we've ever worked with in our life. They're like, for the most part, there's like 6 or 7 people, and comedians just dick on their phones the whole time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're like, when am I up? They're like, but every time I'm just talking to them, like every time there's been 1 or 2 people that are like, you are worse than like a porn star worth $40 million. Like you are harder to be around than like the most high maintenance people in like the adult video community. Like you are like just some comedian.
That's really funny.
And you are so much more entitled than like people who make 800 jobs. Like it's wild, but it was good and the set will look good. And I'm playing a game on the OnlyFans called Guess What Famous Movie Sex Scene Kyle is Describing.
Hell
so
yeah,
I describe it. It's like my dad game, and I describe
funny.
a sex scene to a movie, and people got to guess what it is. It's fun.
That's great.
Anyways, we're just doing some rom-com and some romance movies and some talking about that, and some games and things like that. But the first thing I want to do is actually a new game. No song. We don't have to worry for this one. This game is called You've Never Seen It. We redacted some. What do you think they say? So I took a famous scene from a romantic comedy, which you have not seen. I assume you have not seen. And I redacted the lines. And Jenny, you're going to be the director and read the stage directions.
Okay.
This is from, have you seen When Harry Met Sally?
I think I actually have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Touché.
I literally had a
like
2 in 600 chance.
For a class, yeah.
Okay. Well, I took a scene from When Harry Met Sally.
I don't remember much of it, though.
Okay.
So.
And I redacted some of the lines, like literally redacted some of the lines.
Oh, yeah.
Shar, this is why I was asking you, like, the movies that you haven't seen. Okay, so Shar, you're going to be Harry.
Okay.
Todd, you're going to be Sally.
Always
And you just need to talk through the redactions of what you think they probably say.
Okay.
Jenny, you'll do the stage directions and any parentheticals.
Is this like Mad Lib style where should I do this what I really think they should say, or should I try to be like funny?
You know, we've had both interpretations on here. I would say
I'm
I
gonna do it
wouldn't
real.
I wouldn't
I'm gonna bring it.
explicitly go in saying you're trying to be funny, because then if it isn't, it's like very embarrassing.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Good call. Yeah, I'm not going to be funny.
No. You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna do
what
this
you
for
think
real.
it is, what you don't think it is. I was trying to find scenes from, because what were some of the movies you hadn't seen? 16 Candles.
You haven't seen 16
And I was like,
Candles?
No.
I was like, I'll look up. Unfortunately, all of the famous scenes from 16 Candles allude to rape. So it's like, or they
true.
don't. They just hold up
It's a little-
horrifically.
Yeah. My mom didn't allow me to watch that one.
I feel like that's a really light one. I feel like that's
I'm
why
kidding. I
surprised.
actually have no idea. I just didn't see that movie. I don't know why.
Or like a lot of those old romantic comedies were. It's like, wouldn't it be funny if she was drunk and we kissed her type of moments in
100%.
like a lot of
There's
these movies.
a lot
Yeah.
of that.
So I was trying to look up like scenes from those that we can do, and I was having all the ones people know. I'm like, well, these should just be redacted.
Hell yeah.
I feel like
There's a problem in most of them.
80s and early 90s, the idea of like the loser guy being like the main hero never
That
played
is
out
aged
well.
very poorly.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Turns out
is
he was
horrific.
a loser for a reason. He's a horrible person.
How
like-
it's aged.
Oh, absolutely.
As time has avenged the jocks.
Absolutely. You wouldn't expect it.
What were the other ones though? Before we get too far into this, what were the other
That I hadn't seen.
Because some like The Big Sick, which is a movie that I really love.
Yeah.
A lot of the famous scenes involve stand up, and that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Totally. Yeah.
I can't look
Yeah.
at a script about stand up. I'm sweating in a coffee shop.
That's pretty funny. Have you seen Jerry Maguire?
Yes.
There we go. That's all you need. You're good to go then.
Oh, I've seen pretty much most.
Yeah,
Like I was
you
going
sent me
through
all of them that you hadn't seen.
Yeah, it really was, and it was like 5 or
5
6
of
maybe.
them.
Nice. Nice.
A big one.
Oh,
huge
Breakfast
ones.
at Tiffany's. I was
Yes.
worried about the voices Todd would do.
That would be tough. That would be really tough. It would derail pretty quickly. Pretty
God.
quickly.
I was worried
That's
about the
so funny.
prosthetics Todd would provide for an audio podcast.
It's for my OnlyFans spot afterwards. Absolutely.
But Breakfast at Tiffany's and 16 Candles, I think, are two of the examples of like that have aged. I do like a dumb series about movies that have aged poorly, and those both come up in all of the
Okay, yeah.
lists. There's like a lot of scenes in 16 Candles where like her grandpa's telling her to like be hotter and stuff, and like
Oh.
because you're just like, well, some men wrote this about how they wish stuff happened.
Oh yeah.
I think it's one man wrote this about how he wished stuff would happen, and he tends to have been a nerd and
Yeah,
definitely didn't
Definitely.
have a lot of love from his
The
mom.
Big Sick is
apparently.
very good though.
I've heard it's great.
Yeah, it's really really great.
I don't think that movie's gonna. I think that movie's gonna age poorly years from now.
The thing that really happened to these two people.
I just think that the interpretation of it, if you look
Based
at that,
on a true story.
I think if you look at that movie from her perspective instead of his, like that's kind of creepy and scary. Like
I feel like most movies, it's like if you really
if you-
take it, you're just like,
yeah.
if
Well-
you go, you're like, there's something wrong
if you
with
take
that.
any movie from a woman's
ever.
perspective, it's horrific.
That's also true. That is also true.
Yeah.
It's also upsetting to watch The Big Sick and know just how huge that guy becomes, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he gets
Physically.
so physically
Yes.
enormous and swollen, and they
Yes.
don't talk about that.
You talking about Ray Romano?
Yeah.
Ray Romano is very good in that movie, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's great.
absolutely.
See, I didn't even know who's in it.
Yeah. He plays Kumail Nanjiani.
Not jacked.
No,
Okay.
isn't he her dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I think that Moonstruck. I'm like, the
Moonstruck,
list was
yeah.
so small for you. It's wild. It's your list of what rom-coms you haven't seen is about Shar's list of movies he's seen, like ever.
Wait, what's your favorite rom-com?
Oh my god.
Or give us a Mount Rushmore.
Now you're spoiling
I
the
mean,
next. You're spoiling the next. You know, we'll get to
that's
this.
next game?
okay.
We can
Nice.
do
All
this
right,
now, and we'll get to the script in a minute. Actually,
Really?
Let's
Okay.
Keep it organic.
Okay. So we're not doing this right now.
We'll do this in a minute.
Okay. You know, like before you started reading, like in elementary school, and you'd get nervous that you didn't know how to spell something. That's what was just happening to me. So
I would be reading so
I was
far
like-
ahead. Did you do popcorn reading?
yeah.
I hated that so much.
Oh, I would always count my paragraph, and it would ruin my day.
Right,
so
because you
fun.
know when you're going to be up, you're taking paragraph turn by turn, so you've only read your paragraph. You have no idea the context of why Huck Finn is even calling that guy that.
Yeah.
That's so
Then
funny.
they give you a pop quiz at the end, and I was like, I only read my paragraph.
Yeah, I know.
No idea what you guys
I
said.
know what happened exactly on page 4, paragraph
Yeah.
3. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
I was like a bad student. I didn't do that at all. For me, it's like if I screw up things, you just like make like a fart noise, like,
Right,
do something
right.
funny, and like no one cares.
yeah,
Like,
you said earlier you got fired from being Captain Morgan.
I had probably had some disciplinary issues as a young man growing up that I needed to.
You got fired from
Sort
being
out a
the
little
guy
bit.
on the front of a
Yeah.
rum bottle.
Yeah, for drinking the wrong alcohol when you're supposed to be drinking different
Not
alcohol. on
none
the
or too
job.
much,
For free,
but
for
the wrong.
free. It was free.
Such an
free
easy
alcohol
assignment.
every night of college, and I fucked that up.
That
It's
is
kind of
so
incredible.
funny.
Yeah.
You probably saved your own life.
Very possible.
That's
actually,
true.
in
Could you imagine
hindsight,
if you're like you're contributing to your 401k as him? Your 401k is like stealing treasure.
It's not gonna cover like the cirrhosis that I'm developing doing it. It's true.
But I do want to hear, Jenny, specifically your Mount Rushmore of rom-coms, and if Shar has seen any of them on the Mount Rushmore.
Okay. Well, if you've seen When Harry Met Sally, you've probably seen You've Got Mail. I feel like
I don't think I have. I've seen bits and pieces. I don't know that I've seen the full thing.
okay.
Do you prefer that over Sleepless in Seattle?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
So You've Got Mail is on there.
But When Harry Met Sally is like,
But again, I
It's-
saw it for a class. I would not have seen it otherwise.
okay,
Yeah.
don't worry, we don't think poorly of you.
guys, legally I had to see this.
He's like, I signed a waiver and everything. Like,
I actually paid
He's like,
$800 to watch this movie, plus interest. I'm still technically paying
like-
off having watched When Harry Met Sally.
I didn't want to watch a movie that's good and respected. I had to.
Hey, it's fair.
he's like, I was tied to a chair
Oh, man.
and my eyes were pinned open. No, I love You Got Mail. People don't like this movie, but I love La La Land.
Oh, it's great.
It's so
Great
good.
movie.
I don't understand why people give it so much.
I think
shit.
just the Oscars thing, people associate it with
Yeah.
meaning like it wasn't good because it won Best Picture for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's good and fun.
It's
great.
so good.
And the acting's fun.
Yeah.
And I like what is that director's name?
Damien
Damien
Chazelle?
Chazelle.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
fun. I
He's
like
the best.
He is the best. He's
I
great.
am fully on board with let them make something how they want to. And there's like 8 of those people who are allowed to make a thing how they want to now.
A funny
Yeah.
Damien Chazelle aside, his first movie, Guy and Madeline on a Park Bench, we did on a Range Life tour, and he was only on the tour briefly, but he wanted to get the New York Times delivered to him at each place every morning. I was like,
Wait, I love
I don't
that.
think that's possible. And like, and you know how hard it was to coordinate booking these screenings and everything else. Like,
right.
that's not.
You're
going
going to
on the
like
to-do
That's
list.
40
so-
cities in 41 days.
Yeah, like not gonna happen.
For
dude.
background,
This
Todd
is
was like distributing like
2010.
indie movies as like little mini festival, going to places and showcasing these movies
It
over
was a
weekends.
lot of work. It was a lot of fun, but a lot of work. We're not getting the New York Times. This is also this is 2010. Like, it's online.
Yeah,
you can just read it on your phone. Like, you do not need to.
I
Get
don't
it
think
delivered
Don
to you.
Draper could get the New York Times some days.
No, definitely
And
not.
he lived in New Jersey.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's so.
But he
funny.
rules. He's great. He's awesome.
Yeah, I even had a lot of fun watching Babylon.
It was fun.
I
It was
loved
wild.
Babylon.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Absolutely.
One of the craziest pivots of all time is actually Rory Scovel's a main character now, the movie.
Yeah.
How, it is crazy,
Did you see
right?
Babylon, Shar?
I did not.
He's
And Danny
great in
Jollis
it.
gets to just do physical comedy
Yeah.
with Brett, or no, like for just like a little
With-
bit in the middle.
Wait, can we talk about Rory just for a second? Because I know every like comedian loves him and says he's like the funniest guy or whatever. But as like a non-comedy person, or I guess I make comedy movies and TV shows, but like I don't work in stand-up, right? I'd always heard about him from you and from other people. And for like 3 years straight, every single project I was working on, at least one producer was like, "You got to get Rory Scovel. You got to get Rory. He's got to be the lead." I was like, "I don't get that. Like, I don't think you can make a movie with him as the lead value wise." And then finally somebody did it, and he's great.
Yeah,
He's
great.
The best.
he also
We
was
all
like
messed up not doing
not
it for
in
3
it
years.
at all, and then kind of the main driving force behind the weirdest act in a movie.
100%.
Yeah, he really is.
100%.
What a
Absolutely
wild
carries
pivot.
it. Yeah.
Oh, he's hilarious. And he is just the funniest person. Like, his stand-up is like, he's like one of 2 or 3 unfollowable people in the world
Yeah.
in stand-up. And I don't know if there's that many of them. And a lot of people way more famous than him couldn't follow him because he's so different than everyone else ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Atlanta.
is.
Big guy came up in Atlanta as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, La La Land,
You've got mail.
You've Got Mail. Same amount of syllables in both of them.
Yeah.
I love How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
How to Lose a Guy in 10
Great
Days.
movie.
I love that movie.
Great
as well.
movie.
It's so funny. It's great. I mean, Kate Hudson's just perfect. Almost Famous. That's another. I love anything Kate Hudson does. Under the Tuscan Sun.
Ooh.
Real good one.
Touche.
I love any movie where they start off. I'm like, well, wait, isn't that every movie? I don't know. I like
They
that
do start off in a lot of movies.
Yeah, it's usually a thing. Yeah. Except for Memento. That's pretty much the only one that
They're
doesn't.
just
Yeah.
sad. I don't know. I like when they any movie where they overcome like
Sure.
obstacles.
So with like the I think we had talked about this actually last time you were here, like rom-com tropes and how they've sort of disappeared from they're not making like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days feels like the rom-comest a thing can be, right?
Yeah.
When I think of romantic comedies, especially from you go like 95 to 2010, which I would say was like maybe even like 91 to 2010, which is like a heyday for this very, very effective formula.
Yep.
Lots of times it's like the single working woman navigating what the work life is like and the guy interrupting this sort of thing.
Well, the
and
playbook is Pretty Woman, right? I mean, that's what kind of was our inciting kind of like the spearhead of.
What was her job? I'm just kidding.
Jenny
actually
tie
didn't
it
get to
back
see
to
the
the
part of the
OnlyFans
movie that
here.
referenced
Oh my
her
God!
job.
Yeah, wait. Were you allowed to see Pretty Woman?
No, I've seen Pretty Woman.
You got to see the last
Yeah.
act, but
No, I
not the
love
first
that.
2/3. No, she just worked at the mall.
That would be incredible. That would be
She's just a pretty lady.
Why not, right? Why not?
There's a comma in there. That is sort of the playbook that works out. But I think eventually they moved them all to New York for 8 years.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. They did do that.
They were all writers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was
They
like,
were
I
all
can't-
writers.
Yeah.
You
All
think-
writers. She's like, I can't have my job and love. What
Maybe
am I
that's like
gonna do?
a Sex and the City influence because that was very much like the writer living way beyond their means.
I think
Writing for a
it had more
magazine.
to do with the fact that it's men writing these movies and they can't understand what a woman in a career would be. So it's like, oh, I'm a writer. I'll just make
Right.
myself a girl. Like that's like I think it had more to do with that than.
Wouldn't it be crazy if a woman had my job and the guy's like laughing while he
Yeah,
types?
that could never
This is
happen. Yeah.
unfathomable. And then she has an email address.
Yeah.
Like,
It's always funny whenever I'm writing like female characters and I'm writing something that like is beyond my creative capacity. I'm still very good friends with most of my ex-girlfriends. So like I'll text like ex-girlfriends like, hey, like would you ever do this or like what's like
how many wrestling
This
belts
sounds-
do you have?
or like what's like an annoying thing somebody would weird you out doing on like a road trip. Like it's always like stuff that like you wouldn't think of. Like I remember one scene where we wanted like this girl character to like do something kind of like awkwardly funny on a road trip, and like one of my ex was like, if like one of my friends was like started like clipping her toenails riding shotgun, I would be like, can you not do that? I was like, that's perfect. That is
Yeah.
like actually what this needs to be.
You're looking
I
down,
never
you're like,
would've
I
thought
haven't
of
even
that.
clipped my toenails at home this
I
month.
was like, I never think that.
This actually
Yeah.
sounds like a rom-com. Like you're texting your exes. You're like, we need this girl for this.
Oh.
She comes back. You guys are working on set. You fall in love.
We should get it going. That needs to
I
happen.
mean,
And you gotta have
she's
Rory
clipping her
Scovel as the
toenail.
lead.
It's got to be
Yeah.
Scovel in the lead. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah,
I
let's
could,
do it on
I could see
OnlyFans.
him playing you.
I feel like that would be a downgrade.
Him
for
playing you, not casting him because you haven't seen him yet. So he's you watching Babylon.
That
watching
actually does
him.
now sound like something he would do.
Yeah, it
That,
does.
but it wasn't just me. That's the
I
thing.
hate
Is like
this guy.
everybody missed the boat for 3 years. Where like I know that it wasn't just me that was getting pitched him by every agent.
Judd
and
Apatow
producer.
didn't
Like,
miss the boat.
I mean, he
He put him in some stuff and was a driver. I think
I feel like he also though could have put him in more. Like he could have been the Jonah Hill character in in Funny People.
that's so old though.
Yeah, I guess that is older than that era.
He could. You're thinking of Eric Bana. who shows up Rory Scovel Babylon style in the third
yeah,
act
he
of Funny
does.
People and becomes the main character for another hour and a
does.
half.
You got to see Eric Bana do stand up. It's
Oh, at the
good.
Coping Cabana.
Oh, man.
It's where he deals with his issues at
I
the
bet
Coping
he's really funny.
Cabana.
I bet he's funny in real life. He seems like a guy who'd be weird and funny.
I'm trying to think of, like, the recent, like, although the love for rom-coms is back.
Oh yeah,
It's back.
Even
but
since
they're
you
not
were on the
making-
podcast last time.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely back. Oh, they're having a time, but they're just not. They're just not hitting it.
Do
like
you
they
think any
used
of it's
to.
reality television based?
Ooh, that's interesting.
There's
That is where
something
you get
that's
your
just
drama and your
yeah.
yeah.
And there's something that's taken away from movie magic when everyone's just like on their phone in a movie.
Yeah.
It just
Oh,
says
yeah.
it on like
Yeah.
or they'll show like the text that they're having on the screen.
As the
It's
bubbles.
like-
Well,
It just-
serendipity is an element to a romantic fantasy, and you can't do that if
Serendipity is
you're
one of my
connected.
favorite. Why didn't I not say that?
That's a great one.
Oh my!
But just the
gosh.
idea of like the cosmos and the universe working out in favor of love can't happen if you're just engaging with everything all the time. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know that's how real life is, but it's
Yeah.
just you can't make a love.
I mean, there's a
story
lot
out
of movies that are iMessage away from not being able to happen. Like there's whether it's like
Yeah.
because now you see movies have to overcome. How do we get them somewhere service doesn't work?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how do
Absolutely.
we get them away from their looking
Right.
up from their? Because if it was a realistic thing, if it like a very and I haven't seen some of the more. You know what I did like was Blockers
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've-
Yeah.
with John Cena.
Absolutely.
Cock Blockers, I think, was its like
Yeah.
not
Original
in
full
the
title.
theater's
Uh-huh.
name, where that really gets kids across, and they spend a lot of time on their phones.
Yes.
Yeah.
But finding different ways to get into, I don't know if kids just need to be like driving cars to not be on there, even though
Right.
They're on their
They
phones in
are,
the car.
you know
what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
that I thought was a good thing. And then I feel a little out of touch to be like, what with the romantic comedies for like people who are Gen Z or whatever like that. So, but I agree about the phones thing. There's a lot of mystique to missing a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not being
Or
able to
a
reach the person
voicemail.
Or, yeah.
Exactly.
You've
a
got
letter.
text.
A letter.
Letter.
You
Writing
know,
a
like,
letter.
like that's the most romantic thing to me is when when a man writes me a letter.
I
And
know.
they don't do that in movies.
He goes to war and just is reading through old text message threads in the bunker.
This might have to get edited out. I don't know if this is getting too far into OnlyFans territory, but I had a one night stand with a girl in New Orleans a couple years ago, and she wrote me a letter. Found out where I lived and wrote me a letter.
Drop
And
her
I-
name.
I
Drop her name.
Todd,
I flew back to see her again. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's who writes a letter. It was like a very sweet, nice letter.
so
Like that
you're-
was such a wonderful night. All these things that like I was like, oh my god,
Wow.
like this is incredible.
Todd, I think you might be cursed. A woman from New Orleans wrote you a letter. This is
She was very witchy. That is
legally
true.
might be a
I'm like,
witch.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I think I want to date her.
Oh, she was amazing. She was that was a good one. Yeah.
Wow.
A little
are you
mist
are you a
flies
words
out.
of affirmation guy?
Not really.
Is that your
It's
love
not my
language?
love language. No. You know what's? Maybe I don't get it enough, and maybe it is actually. Maybe that one time was another. Like,
Yeah,
hey, wait a
yeah.
minute.
Well, people
the key,
either
the lock has been unlocked here. Hold on.
people either want what they didn't have as a child growing
Oh,
up,
yeah,
and they
yeah, yeah.
gravitate towards that,
Yeah, fill the
or
hole.
it's yeah,
I got a lot of love and care and affirmation as a kid. So yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
not it.
yeah.
And for just from
Well,
this
why don't you rub it
conversation,
in? Why don't you rub it in? He's
Nah.
like,
I was
"Yeah,
allowed to go to Hot Topic.
Yeah. He's like, my parents loved me.
Yeah.
they bought me fake puke.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Every
Uh,
mall trip.
we should do this game. We should
Oh,
do this
yeah.
thing. Would you mind even just taking note of the time code there for me? Thank you. All right, so we're back. We took a break. This is partially redacted scene from When Harry Met Sally. Playing Harry, we have Daniel Shar. Playing Sally, we have Todd Sklar. That sounds fun.
How British of an accent does Meg Ryan have in this movie?
I think
I'm gonna do this.
you
I'm doing
gotta.
this in
Well,
Meryl
we should
Streep.
go to your director here.
I'm doing it as
Right.
Meryl Streep.
Doing stage directions and directing throughout the scene will be Jenny Jennings. And so if you want to let him know how his accent work should be.
Yeah, and I'll take any notes you got.
I
from
can't
me
do
as well.
accents. That's why I brought that up. I'm really bad at them. No accent.
I think go with what you feel. Go with, you know what? I'm gonna let
Dangerous.
you.
It's
I'm gonna let you
And
work through this
As an actor,
As an
I
actor.
appreciate that freedom.
Yeah,
Can
Hell
I
yeah.
be like a hillbilly Crystal?
I like.
Hillbilly Crystal.
I like that.
Oh yes.
I like that.
The Bills have eyes. And great. And then, whenever you're ready, this is scene 57 from the revision last on in August 23rd, 1988. I was 2 months old.
Okay. Interior, Carnegie Delicatessen. Is that right?
Delicatessen.
Delicatessen. See, do you
I
remember
think
how
it's
I was talking about that?
Aeropostale.
Remember I was talking about the anxiety? Yeah, this is it.
You got it.
Harry and Sally each about to eat large pastrami sandwiches.
And the redacted words we're just filling
You
in
just
what we
make up
think is
whatever
there.
you want in the redacted parts, and a lot of it's redacted if you're listening.
So what do you do with these girls? You just hit it and leave?
Sure.
Explain that to me. Really explain that to me.
He takes a bite of. I don't know why I redacted sandwich. I was in a groove of redaction.
It's fun to do. It's fun to do.
Of ass.
You know what, Jenny? You're the parentheticals from here on out because that's funnier than sandwich.
Okay.
I have an early meeting or an early haircut or an early colonoscopy.
You don't play racquetball?
They don't know that. They just met me.
That's crazy.
Takes a bite of his fingernail.
I know. I feel terrible.
I'm so glad that I never got involved with you. I would have just ended up being a professional racquetball player. And you don't even have racquetball shoes.
Quite irritated now.
Not that I would know this.
Why are you getting so upset? This isn't Vietnam.
Yes, it is. You're a human affront to the Khmer Rouge and racquetball.
Look, I don't feel great about this, but I don't hear anyone complaining.
Of course not. You're fucking deaf.
Imagine Meg Ryan just saying fuck all the time.
That's the weirdest part about the ones I'm inserting.
I think they have an okay time.
How do you know?
What do you mean, how do I know? I'm psychic.
But you can't hear.
She makes a gesture with her hands.
Well, yeah, because of a birth defect.
He makes the same gesture back.
How is that legal?
She makes the same gesture.
What are you saying? They fake hearing?
It's possible.
Get out of here.
Why? Most women can fake everything. And have. Especially hearing.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't dare do that with me now, would they?
How do you know?
Because I'm intimidating.
Oh, right. I forgot.
The Billy Crystal attribute. Physical intimidation.
Right. I forgot. You're psychic.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, nothing. It's just that, men who don't play racquetball and are deaf are usually psychic. You do the math.
You don't think I can tell the difference?
No.
Please don't be foolish and rude to me.
Sally just stares at Harry. A seductive look comes on her face. Slowly, she laughs into the beginning of what builds to be a valid orgasm.
Do you want me to do an orgasm?
It's whatever's redacted.
But in real life, is that what she does there, right?
You
Yeah.
can't
That'd be
ask
a
the
line.
question. This is
Oh, yeah, you're the
redacted.
director. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So she does the orgasm, and then you probably didn't hear that.
Are you all right?
Oh God. Billy Crystal. Yes. I'm all right. Yes. Oh, honey. Whew. That was great. I am ready to smoke a cigarette and play some racquetball. Thank you.
Sally finishes, takes another bite of her sandwich, smiles innocently. Hold on, Harry, in shock, and the rest of the customers and the waiters, who couldn't help but overhear Sally's performance.
Old woman customer.
I'll have what she's having.
Ooh.
Nice.
Is that the real line?
What?
Is that the real line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it. That's
They were all pretty
that's
much
the-
right.
that one
Yeah.
permeated the culture.
Yep,
Racquetball was big in the
def
90s. That was a big sport in the 90s.
You know what's wild is I think it's actually talking about squash at some point in
Whoa.
there.
Whoa.
Maybe I'm
At the
completely
diner?
wrong. This is a diner scene, the famous diner scene. She just faked the orgasm. He talks about how he's good at sex, but I think he says he has to go play squash or something. He makes up an
might.
excuse.
It's a great excuse. It's a great excuse.
If only I had my computer right in front of me with the answers. I gotta look it up. I think YouTube nailed it. Great directing as well.
Yeah,
I think we
thanks.
all did a
Thank you.
wonderful job.
Appreciate the creative freedom.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
creative freedom.
Apologies to any of the deaf listeners out there.
Yeah.
That was not meant to be offensive.
I do like that you. There was
Well, they can't hear it anyway, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
apology to any of our deaf listeners.
Reading the transcript.
That's more offensive.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I deleted the script. I thought it would be taking up too much space on my computer.
4.9 megabyte PDF. That's awesome. That's great.
Look, there was a moment where I was worried where I knew the orgasm scene was coming and you'd establish someone was deaf, that we were going to have sounds that would get us in trouble.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. It's very fair. It's very fair.
But great job. We want to now play a game here called Before and Afters. How this game works is 2 movies have been smashed together into one movie. I will read the smashed together plot. You have to guess the smashed together title. For instance, we have Heat, Pray, Love, which is Eat, Pray, Love, and Heat put together. One of each of these is a rom-com. So that'll be the category here for today.
Nice.
Each of them has one that is a romantic comedy. Maybe 2. I don't remember. So I'm just going to use these.
Can I say, get ready to play?
Oh, yeah. Smack that red button.
Before and afters.
Get ready to play before and after.
Oh, hell yeah.
Since this is our special
Hell yeah.
holiday episode, there's no competition, no points being awarded, just success as a group.
Sure.
Love
Unless
conquers
someone really
all.
is doing good,
Love
then they win.
conquers all.
If someone really gets it, they win.
Everything's a competition, Kyle.
Yes.
Welcome to life. Yeah.
I bet you it isn't.
If you're not first, you're last.
Number 1, after a one-night stand, a rising journalist decides to give an irresponsible slacker a chance to prove he is father material, and he uses this opportunity to carry their house away to South America via a bunch of colorful balloons.
Knocked Up.
Yeah.
Knocked Up is correct.
That's good.
Oh,
That's good. Good work. Good work.
Okay.
Rising journalist doesn't eliminate any rom-coms.
Nope.
I literally blacked out. I was like, that's all of them.
Here we go. Next one. A writer for a woman's magazine sets out to write an article on how to get a boyfriend to dump you by overcoming a ban on dancing in their small Midwestern town.
Oh, that's it's Footloose and oh my God.
Well,
How to footloose a guy in 10 days?
How to footloose a
I
guy
was like,
in 10
I'm
days
gonna
is
try to
correct.
figure out the
Okay.
best way to say it. That was gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, now talk about a foot job.
Yeah, that is a foot job.
Footloose,
Yeah.
okay.
Podiatry. Hell yeah.
He's to podi for. A younger sister who cannot date until her older sister, Kat, has a boyfriend, attempts to set her up with a handsome guy, but they all must first finish playing a magical board game.
Something in Ouija. What is the cat? I don't know that one. Sister.
Wait.
She's all
So
cat.
the second one's definitely.
Like none of that works for She's All That, but
No, it's just saying cat.
we should redo that before and after. That should be She's All Cat. Somebody rewrite that one.
You're just saying the word cat.
Yeah.
Wait, the younger sister.
A younger
can't-
sister cannot date until her older sister, Kat, has a boyfriend. Cat with a capital K, not an animal. And attempts to set her up with a handsome guy, but they all must first finish playing a magical board game.
Oh,
I can't even think of titles that would fit with Ouija. That's
Is it
interesting.
Jumanji?
I'll tell you
well,
it's
yeah,
not.
I'm thinking Jumanji.
Oh, it's
as
not
part
Ouija.
of the.
Oh,
Is
guys,
it Jumanji?
Yeah. Good call.
Wait.
This is funny because I always forget that Jumanji is a movie. I've been on this podcast at least 3 times when someone has done Jumanji. I think
They
I
should
did it
make
once.
this into a movie.
Oh, I can't think of the rom-com.
Ready for the answer?
Can we have a hint?
I don't know anything else about this
Okay.
movie. 10 Things I Hate About Jumanji.
Oh,
10
Oh
okay,
my
Things
God,
I Hate
that
About
is right.
Jumanji.
It's because that is the premise, but it becomes such a not part of the movie.
Right,
Yeah,
but it is
sometimes
tough.
the premise,
Yeah.
if you're just like, oh,
The
there's-
launching point for rom-coms is oftentimes tough to surmise.
Yeah.
Because it happens in 10 minutes, and then it's
totally.
Yeah.
just a guy pestering a woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a woman trying to get
It's
away.
like, you ever hear anyone talking about how their grandparents met, and you're like, I think that's illegal. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, well,
Yeah.
my grandpa showed up at her house and let himself in every day for a year.
And finally, she said, "You know what?
Right.
I'll accept." Yeah.
He
Persistence.
wore her down.
Big Six style.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Actually-
knocked her into a coma.
Yep.
Grandpa busted her tires and
Right, that's exactly like he slashed her tires in a parking lot and attempted to help her.
she had nowhere to go.
That's the plot of like 8
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he tied her down until she was pregnant. You're like, what?
Set her up on the train track so he could rescue her.
yeah. He did a crime to save her from the crime is how like a lot of our
Yeah.
grandparents met.
That's hilarious.
Even standing outside our window with the boombox is a lot.
Very creepy.
We did Knocked Up. We did 10 Things I Hate About Jumanji. We did How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Here we go. They're getting a little harder.
Oh no, they're getting harder.
Yeah.
Oh great.
When his fiance realizes he has no male friends, a realtor sets out to find one and winds up befriending the newly elected British Prime Minister. One of 9 intertwined stories about the complexities of love.
It's what's the
It's on the tip of my tongue.
the
It's
Jason?
yeah.
I can't remember. It's not Role Models. It's the other one. It's
I Love You Man?
Yeah, it's I Love You.
I Love You Man.
I actually love you, man.
I love Actually You Man
Oh,
is what we're
Actually
looking
You Man.
for. I Actually Love You Man is like a therapy moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I love Actually You Man.
Yes.
2 more. These next ones will got a little pivot. The King of Monsters. This is different than a woman who works at a newspaper.
Very tight. Very
The
cool.
King. This is actually just a Devil Wears Prada reference. The The King of Monsters rises from the sea and attacks a school dance where a girl is meeting up with a boy she accidentally started anonymously texting and emailing after a cell phone mishap. I don't want to tell you which of these 2 movies has Hilary Duff in it.
Yeah.
The King of Monsters rises from the sea and attacks a school dance where a girl is meeting up with a boy she accidentally started anonymously texting and emailing after a phone mishap.
Is Loch
Okay, with the
Ness-
rom-com
is that a
is
Loch Ness
Cinderella
monster thing?
story.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the I didn't have that. Is there a Loch Ness monster?
Big
thing?
Hilary Duff fan over here. She
Touché.
did.
I'm
shape-
sorry, is that the part you thought was about the rom-com? Was the monster
about it, yeah, maybe,
and not a
like-
girl meets up at a dance with a boy she's texting?
You're thinking of Shape of Water.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Right,
He's like
right.
Monsters
Yeah.
Inc. It's kind of a rom-com.
Cinderella story. A Cinda.
The Inc. is referencing a newspaper in Monsters Inc. where she works. The
Wait,
Devil
King
Wears
of
Prada is
Monsters
called
is,
Monsters Inc.
A Godzilla story. A Godzilla story.
Godzilla Cinderella story
There we
is
go.
what we're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Godzilla
I always
Cinderella
forget
story.
that Godzilla comes from the ocean.
A Godzilla
Me
story?
too. No, me too.
I'm not a big Godzilla guy, to be honest.
That sounds like you're describing an Italian restaurant.
That's on my
Godzilla
dating
story.
profile. That's my intro.
Isn't
I'm not
it Godzilla
I'm not a big
story?
Godzilla guy. Yeah,
That's
I
on
don't
your
do-
dating profile.
Yeah.
Not a big Godzilla guy.
Not a big-
Not a
Hopefully
big
it's not a deal
Godzilla
breaker.
guy. I hope it's
Can't do
not a
it.
deal breaker. Final one. A million points if you get this one.
Ooh.
Estranged brothers reunite for a train trip across India where they meet a low-level inept hitman and the lesbian assassin hired to make sure he completes the job.
It's Darjeeling Limited and not excess baggage. Not.
This is a Bennifer movie.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually kind of.
Geely?
Yeah, but I'm pro this movie, kind of. I feel
So
like
you said
Darjeeling Limited. There
The
we go,
Darjeeling
Yeah.
Limited is correct.
Oh my god.
I'm a huge
I would have never.
Martin Brest fan, so like I'm a Geely apologist.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that movie is not as bad as everyone made out. It is bad.
No,
it's bad.
No,
but it's not as
we,
bad as everyone
we've
made it out
talked
to be.
about this because I did this as part of the try and find the worst movie that's the hardest to watch. And Geely is like, has all of the parts of a movie put together.
Yep.
And it's like, there's movies that don't.
Absolutely.
You watch
Yeah.
Geely, you're like, well, everyone, say what you will about them, but they obviously have chemistry.
Yep.
Even if it's the weirdest chemistry that's ever existed.
ever.
Still.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He was just in a Super Bowl commercial where he had more fun hanging out with his friend than his wife. It's like psycho shit. The chemistry Ben Affleck has with people is like fucking the weirdest thing you've
It is
ever
so
seen.
weird. Yeah.
It was, but yeah, Geely is not the worst movie of all time.
No.
It's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie. For sure a bad movie, but not the worst of all time.
Well, that's the end of our Valentine's Day rom-coms, before and afters. We have one more game we're going to play here, and then we're going to get going. This game is called, I don't think I have the music pulled up for this one. This is called Character Card Head Guessing Game, the game.
Nice.
How this works is,
song for that
I don't think, oh yeah,
Character
I
card.
forgot we had this. How this works is you are going to be a character from a romantic movie. Not necessarily a rom-com, just a romance.
a rom-drom.
A rom-drom.
Rom-drom.
I will, let's say, yeah. So I would call these sort of, this is a loose stretch to consider this part of, but it's a romantic interest in a movie, and this is non-typical. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Atypical. The romance is atypical, you're saying?
All of it. This is not like You're not Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. You're not
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But this is a relationship-based romantic thing.
Nice.
Okay.
You're going to be a character from a movie. You have to ask yes or no questions
Okay.
to find out if you're the character or information. If you guess, am I whoever? Am I Meryl Streep in Devil Wears Prada? And you're
Oh, that's a
wrong,
good one.
you lose your next guess. And whoever gets this wins the podcast. So take your headphones off so I can announce to everyone listening if you wouldn't mind
Okay.
plugging your ears. They are Samantha, the AI voice from the movie Her, played by Scarlett Johansson. I think it's a good one, don't you, Jake? I think. Okay. All right, so you're a character from a movie?
You know, I just realized every time we've ever played this game, when we do that, I cover my ears and I also close my eyes. But you're not showing anything. I don't know why.
No, I held up a big picture of
Yeah, like what? I've done it like 50 times. I just realized now, like, why am I doing that? There's nothing to give it away. It's like
I held up a huge like billboard, like they hold on the side of football games for some reason to show the plays, and it's like a picture of a volcano. Okay, let's see. We will start. Who won that last? Todd, I think you actually got Darjeeli.
I think
and
you got
Amanda
a
on
lot.
this one, so
I
we'll
think you
start
got
with
a
you,
lot.
Todd. Yes or no questions. Go around until you guess who you are whenever you're
and
ready.
it's just that it's a romantic.
You're a
angle and
character from
non-typical.
or there's a romantic angle going on with your character.
Okay. Am I Meryl Streep?
No. All right. Sure, it's you. What a poll it would have been if I was like, I really zagged right into it. And if you don't remember the character's name too, you can say, am I Meryl Streep from Devil Wears Prada? I know who that is. But if you just say,
Okay.
am I Meryl Streep, you're just asking, am I portrayed by this person?
Right.
Sorry, and you said this was a rom-com or it's not?
No.
It's not.
It's a rom.
It's a rom something. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not.
It's a
Okay.
CD-ROM.
I get what you're.
Ooh,
I get what
nice.
you're throwing down.
SimCity.
Am I
Okay.
male?
No.
Is someone sick in the movie?
Physically?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Or is someone sick? I don't know. Mentally, should I have asked mentally?
Mentally,
I
you
don't
could,
know,
you
is
could,
someone-
you could. I wouldn't have you would have to consult someone above my pay grade. How are we 2 questions in and I like don't have a fucking clue how to answer this question? What would you
Like
say,
how
Jake? Is someone in this movie mentally ill?
No, like or you know.
By the
there's-
stand.
Okay. Okay. So a
Okay,
little
it's
sick.
not the focus.
Okay.
I-
I didn't mean did they have a cold like at the beginning.
No,
like,
yeah.
just
Is
meant-
someone in this movie sick and big? I don't want to tell you what movie I'm thinking of. Is there any sick bigs?
Okay. All right.
All right,
Someone
Todd.
I get skipped. I guess.
No, but you didn't guess a character.
Oh, touche. Okay, then we know that it's female. We know that they're not sick. Is this? Am I in a '90s movie?
Why I went
no.
there. But anytime there's like a rom that's not.
But there is a
com,
lot
Someone's
of,
sick.
like,
a lot of
yeah,
them are
yeah,
sick.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
not a
there's-
90s movie? Is
Not
that
a
okay.
90s movie.
Am I animated?
No.
Does the woman work for a magazine company?
No.
Okay.
That's like knocking.
I
That's like knocking
literally feel
everyone
like-
on Guess Who down.
There's only 5 left.
It's like you
now.
found out they're not white in Guess Who, and so there's only like a few little tiles left up.
Am I in an '80s movie?
No.
Okay. Am I high status?
Ooh.
I would say not relevant to no.
Steerage class. Hell yeah.
I would err more towards not relevant
Okay.
than I would to the word no.
That takes out a lot of romance movies that aren't in the '90s and '80s. That was a great question.
Am I single at the beginning?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I single at the end?
Depends
I
on
like this
who
question.
you ask when.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
This is gonna be crazy when all 3 of you haven't seen the movie.
Depends on what. Oh, I can't wait for it to be my turn. I got another question.
Okay. do I time travel?
Yeah, that was my question.
Really?
Yes, because you
What
said
the fuck?
because you
That's
said
incredible.
depends on the.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've
do
got-
you time travel? No.
Oh, Kyle. I was ready
The
to
tagline
list
for
out
this
like
show.
5 time travel
Oh,
rom-coms.
jeez.
I was like time traveler's wife.
Right.
There's so many.
Even like 500 Days of Summer, depending on who you
Kind
ask
of,
when,
yeah.
is kind
Yeah.
of whether or not you're single.
Okay. Does she live in a big city? Like that's. Does she live in New York?
It is a big city she is in during the movie.
Okay.
Am I in a 2000 to 2010 era movie?
You're not in a aughts movie.
When was this movie made? Is it His Girl Friday? Like, what is going on here?
Just so you know, it's been 14 years since then.
Good God.
It's not 2012 like I think you
Yeah,
might be
it's
asking
kinda
questions
crazy.
like it is.
I'm still in my Usher phase. Yeah, I'm still in my Usher era.
You saw Usher on TV yesterday.
I'm
You're
back.
like, it's
Let it
2012 right
burn,
now.
man. Yeah.
Am I in the movie 2012? I wrote 3 characters down to play today, and we are only going to get to one of them.
We like haven't seen any movies. That's what we're.
This is an odd one. This is one for the veterans of the podcast listening.
Okay.
What's fucked up is I've heard every episode.
Yeah, me too. And it's not animated.
Like it's not like referencing, but this is like akin to when the answer was "You are Bin Laden from Zero Dark 30." Not in the similar romantic elements, but
Okay, all right. So Kyle's.
but it's a big
wheelhouse.
character.
What's
It's
in
a big
Kyle's
main
wheelhouse?
character. It's not like that was like in it in theory.
Okay. Because I was just about to ask if I was Kathy Bates in that movie where she ties the
Misery?
guy.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
No.
All right, I guess
Right,
I
smash
lose my
anyone's
turn.
All
Is she traveling to a new city? Like, is this out of her? Like, is it out of the country that she's heading towards on her journey?
I would. This is
Her
so
journey.
hard to. You've seen this movie, haven't you, Jake? This is a hard question to answer. Is she traveling to a new? She is. Fuck. Impossible to answer. Right?
Yeah, like without giving it away.
I could not tell you the answer. The answer is yes. Explicitly, yes, she is traveling, but if you think about it, that will throw you off of the scent.
Okay.
So she's on a spaceship, right?
Insane.
Gotta
Like,
be a
no.
thing. No?
I'm like gravity. Gravity.
well,
Is it
'cause that's
gravity?
always
You guys
moving,
are like
right? You're always
thinking
moving, I feel
large picture enough, but
Am I Bin Laden in Zero Dark 30?
no. Oh, you missed yours.
Right.
All right, back to Jenny.
Oh boy.
And then
Is it like a fish out of water character?
no.
Wait,
She-
either
no,
it
no.
is or no.
No.
I'm like, I have no idea.
No,
what this
I
is.
wouldn't describe it that way.
Okay.
Especially not in one of the first 20 ways I would describe it. All right, back to Shar. This is going to be one of the few games with an ad break in the middle of it.
We have to do a 2-part episode just to have this game in. I mean, am I Ingrid going west?
No.
Okay.
That movie made me so anxious.
Shout out Nat Spice or Ingrid Goes West. That movie is the bomb. That's what I'm going to plug at the end of the podcast.
It is really, really good.
It's
And
so
it made
good.
me, that's a movie that hits tech. We're talking about technology. That's a movie that portrays technology
Yes.
in a way that it makes you, have you seen Ingrid Goes West before?
Mm-mm,
It's
I haven't.
it shows
Strong
phones in a
recommend.
way that makes you sweat.
It's pretty great.
Okay.
It is not though.
Okay. Woman traveling.
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
Did we say woman?
Kind of sick.
Oh, so
Do
it might be a girl?
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh. This whole time.
Oh, my God. I think I just figured it out, too. Wait. Oh, go ahead.
No, you.
No, it's
oh,
your
it's my turn. Oh,
Yeah.
great. Well, now I got to wrap my head around this. I was like,
I don't know how to tell you this, but I bet Todd has not figured it out.
I feel
So
like
far, he guessed Bin Laden a minute ago.
It started with Meryl Streep, though.
that's true. They're usually tied
Okay,
together.
wait.
Step up to
This
the
is-
streets.
This is 100% not like a rom, but there's elements in it. But you said it wasn't necessarily a,
Nope, not a
Not at all,
com.
right?
Not a com, but there's rom.
but there is some com in it.
You maybe
Now
laugh.
it sounds like we're
but
talking dirty, but there is com in it.
They are covered in com. There's some com shots, but there's not like it's not like explicitly like a com covered sort of thing. I hate to be throwing your
Okay.
SEO off with this, Char.
Because my mind, for some reason, I think it's because I'm in the rom-com world, went to Castaway.
Oh, and he'd be
Wow.
Wilson.
Because you were like, oh, he kind of.
They are in
or-
love, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And Tom Hanks is
you're-
in a big city.
so you were maybe
for-
guessing Wilson? You would be the closest anyone's been.
Wow.
Am I Barbie?
No.
Oh man.
All right, Todd lost another turn.
Close to Wilson.
I'm not saying it's
ball.
close to being Wilson, but I'm saying, wouldn't you agree, Jake? Wilson is in the world more than closer than Bin Laden.
Okay. So less terrorism. more
Although
volleyball.
Bin Laden and Wilson were very close together, both being in the ocean towards the end there.
Touche.
Barack Obama yelling Wilson on a raft as they drop Bin Laden's
Yes.
body into the
We need
Atlantic
an
Ocean.
AI generated image poster.
Okay,
of that. That's
Char.
fantastic.
Char.
Am I the traveling pants? That
Oh, the Yaya sister.
That was a
No,
good
you're
guess.
not.
That's
That
a
is
great
no,
guess.
but you are not. You are not.
Yeah.
That was a solid guess.
Yeah.
I wanted to get to the other ones so bad.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, we're gonna be here all day.
What else is a female object that travels and it's loved?
A female object.
Well,
A
'cause
female object doesn't eliminate any rom-coms
do you-
either.
Yeah, touche. Well, that is Wilson's an object. It's not a person.
I know, but we still didn't establish, or did we? And I just missed it.
No, we
It's a
haven't quite
female-
established what.
what it is. What is it?
We
Flubber?
know, oh, yeah, right. We know it's flubber. Whoa.
flubber.
It is flubber, isn't it?
Flubber
It is
travels.
not flubber.
Oh, it's
You know what?
flubber.
And I won't even count that as a character guess, so you don't lose a turn. Because flubber could have been in other stuff.
Yeah.
But you're
Smart
right.
house.
We only established it's not male. We didn't establish that we are female. That's interesting. I didn't think about
Such
that.
binary
Right in-
thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touche.
Wow, this
Touche.
character
Big
is some of the
flubber
most
gal.
binary thinking ever.
Who's in love with like an object in a movie?
Well,
That was after 2010.
Yeah, because they fucking stopped that.
Yeah.
You're like
they
so
just
hung
don't
up
make
on
enough of those
movies
Yeah, they
anymore.
really don't. They really don't. And it's not traveling pants either, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Kyle's like, we've established.
it's certainly not pants.
I feel like it's like Johnny Cash's harmonica or something like that. You know, it's like a.
Could you imagine if I typed in Johnny Cash's harmonica and then led with that round, expecting to play more afterwards?
That'd be pretty good.
Like we'll warm them up with all the Johnny Cash's harmonica, and then we'll get into the toughies.
Wait, am I in a movie that was nominated for an Oscar?
Yes.
Hell yeah! Now we're getting there.
Am I the computer from Space Odyssey? Whatever. The
No.
Talk to Hal. Okay.
Oh,
Is it?
You're not in 80s, 90s, or aughts. We know that.
Oh, I forgot that we knew that. No, I'm so caught up on an inanimate object. But I know that I don't know where I'm at. I don't even remember what we've said now. All I'm thinking about is how to lose a guy in 10 days. That's not it.
What if that you're Kate Hudson and how to lose a guy?
Alright, pretty good.
I thought I'd prank you
Okay.
guys.
Are there any musical elements to?
Like, does anyone sing or anything like that? What do you mean? Or do you mean like, is there like a score to the movie? What sort of? I don't
like it-
associate music with this movie at all.
Okay.
am I the iPhone app in her?
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Oh my
Whoa!
God.
You got me there. You got me there name was Space Odyssey.
You are
Wow.
Samantha, voiced by Scarlett Johansson
yeah.
in the movie Her.
Wow.
I knew her name was Samantha. I should have said Samantha. That's
I'm
according to the
glad.
game, the character.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
See?
got to you before it back to me when I was going to go, am I Airbud?
I feel like that's closer than Bin Laden to Samantha from Her.
Oh, see, she's traveling, right? That's like a big part of her character, actually, is how she's like, I'm growing and traveling and
Soaring
doing
through
these
the
things.
sky,
And like,
yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys were asking. Sometimes this game happens where people ask questions, and I'm like, that's the worst question you could ask because it's going to throw you off
Yeah.
because I
And
have
we-
to answer
That's
it.
the fun part.
And we did all of those.
We did. Yeah,
you
we stepped
started
on
with
every
4 of
landmine.
them.
Yeah.
Aside from Meryl Streep, the first 4, I'm like, this is gonna make them think this is the wrongest thing of that answer. Anyways, we're done with our Valentine's Day episode.
No,
Happy
we got to do the other
Valentine's
two. We
Day.
got to know what the other two were.
We do not have time.
Aw.
Will you tell us what they are? Just so we know.
I'll tell you
Or I
what
guess
they were.
no, then you burn them. You can't use them for other.
Yeah, no, I can use them literally the next time.
Hell yeah, dude.
The next one was going to be Bianca from Lars and the Real Girl.
Oh,
Who
I
was
would
the
have
doll
never would have
that-
gotten that
that
one.
uses
either.
it.
That's a fun movie too.
And Barry Egan from Punch Drunk Love.
Hell
That was
yeah.
his
Never
character in
gotten-
Punch Drunk Love.
yeah.
I'm definitely still going to use Bianca from Lars and the Real Girl because that's fun.
I feel like I'm now every time I play this game, my second question is going to be: do I smash a plate glass window in anger at my sisters? That's going to be my second question to
In
every
anger
single.
at my sisters, it definitely has nothing to do with any internalized problems he has. It's he's mad at sis. Okay. Well, hey, thank you all for being here.
That was super fun.
Let's go on. Jenny, is there anywhere you want people to tell them where to find you and follow you?
You won't find me outside of a Spencer's, but you can find me at _ Jenny Jennings. That's my name on all the socials. So
Great.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Todd?
You can find me at Colonel Sklar, or you can find me at an Usher concert at some point this next year, or you can
Wow.
find me watching Ingrid Goes West on Hulu or Tubi or
It
all
gives-
your platforms. Check out.
Sometimes you feel a movie and you could guess what platform it's on. I would
Yeah.
guess Hulu.
Well, I feel like also A24 has like a deal with them. I think it's.
Yeah.
I'm going with Hulu.
Production idea: A25. Write it down.
Good idea, dude.
That's wise. I'm not really on social media, but I'm verified on Pornhub, and you can find me at danielshar.com for all your I got safer work stuff on there mostly. So
Yeah, we're not going to elaborate on any of those.
Yep, no need.
I uploaded when my short like 10 years ago got into Sundance. I uploaded on Pornhub. I wanted to see if anybody would watch it or see it, and the comments are very surprising.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And I got to give a shout out to Anna W, Bubs, Skazzles, Awesome Unicorn, Ovid, Somni, and Scott's Alive for some of the submissions today for before and afters, for giving us those on the Discord.
Hell
Thank you
yeah.
guys so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.
I've never seen